Now that I'm awakened, I do things differently. And there is things that I overstand. I understand that we are spiritual beings in this physical form. I also understand not everybody that I meet is a person. I understand not everybody I run into is a real person. I understand the difference between angels and demons. So, because of that, the rules have changed a little bit. Massively, I couldn't even say a little bit. The game has changed. The game is not the same. So, which means that the moment I snapped, I value my energy. I do value my personal energy. And I'm selective with who I choose or who I decide to share my energy. So I'm very mean. I'm very, very mean, ladies and gentlemen. You know, back in the days, many years ago, I would never stay 1 month, 2 months without a date. When I was finished one, I would go to the next one. I didn't even know these things of energy and everything, vampires and all that stuff. Now I know. So because I know, the rules change. I value my personal energy, not only the people that I sleep with, but also the people that I choose to be around me. So, in other words, I can no longer just go around and sleep with pretty much anyone because I'm not only sleeping with the body in physical, I am also sleeping. That is, if I do sleep with them, I also sleep with the spirit. So, for me to choose a partner when it comes to sex, intimacy, maybe even friendships, one has got to be energetically aligned. If your energy is all over the place, I'll be on my way. It will stop or finish before even started. Now that I'm awakened, I no longer just eat everywhere. Okay, back in the days, you know, those parties, barbecue grills, over all these the kind of things, I no longer eat anywhere. And this is not in bad faith, you know, but I now see because it all comes down to energy. So now I now understand that I need to eat from the right plate, okay, and I need to eat from the right energy. So I no longer just move around and eat. Let's go eat that way. Let's go eat that way. You know, there is sometimes you eat food and that food you're not meant to eat it. So you consume that food contains also spiritual parasites. So you consume those parasites, and those parasites become an issue inside of your body. So I no longer eat anywhere. I usually try to. I don't try. I do my best to make sure that I cook my own meals. I want to cook my food from scratch. I need to know what kind of ingredients are inside of that food. So I'm very, very careful when I'm cooking. Now that I'm awakened, I no longer want to share my living space. I do not want to share my living space. There are some things you can do, yes, okay, you don't have an option. But I struggle, or I could say I do my best to make sure I have got my own place. I can no longer allow myself to go to sleep when I don't clearly understand the people that I'm sharing my home. I can no longer allow myself to go to sleep when I do not fully understand the people that we are sharing homes with. It's all energy, okay? Now that I am awakened, I no longer want to go around randomly giving people my money. Okay, there's things that we do we don't know. We was not taught these spiritual things in schools. We was taught the things we didn't even want to learn or need, but now we know. This habit of going around, take this and you take that, and take this and you take that kind of stuff. Now, again, it all comes down to discernment. You need to discern who do you want to share your money with. You are exchanging wealth. It's an exchange. So sometimes you can give away your entire wealth to the wrong person. Did you guys know the reason as to why sometimes people run into guys, or something? Oh, let me help this person. Oh, they seem like they're suffering. They're on the street. They're homeless. Not everybody is homeless is a bad person. But you see, this is the kicker. There is people that are connected or have an attachment with our astral parasites. So which means I'm talking about those people have been overtaken by certain entities because of their energetic frequency. So those entities, you give them money, they are going to take your entire wealth with them. And there's people that you may find may start to lose money, run bankrupt. They don't even know where all their money went. Those are the things we need to be watching out for. If you really feel you need to help someone, they are homeless or whatever, carry them, go and buy them something to eat, and move on. Okay? Take them to the shop, buy them a meal, move on. Now that I am awakened, I no longer want to share my clothes. Guys, excuse me. I no longer want to share my clothes. Okay? Oh, I'm going for a wedding. Can I borrow your coat? Can I borrow your shoes? That is finished. I no longer do that. It's all energy. I'm very, very careful who I want to share my energy with. So that business of your friends popping up in the weekend, they have a wedding, they have a party, they need your coat, they need your shoes, they need your jewelry, they need your watch. I no longer do that. Now that I'm awakened, I no longer allow myself to have a very messy home. There cannot be mold, there cannot be pests, funny rodents, mice running all over the place, lizards. I can no longer have those things in my home. I can no longer have a lot of dirt, dust, and everything. I can no longer go to bed when I have rubbish that needs to be disposed of. Before I go to sleep, the bins are clear. I can no longer have a very untidy home, which means that this awakening means evolution. You awake, you evolve. You awake, you evolve. So when you evolve, now you start to learn how to master your personal energetics. Now that I'm awakened, I no longer pretty much allow everybody in my house. I no longer allow pretty much everyone in my house. Some people I may choose to open the door. Some people I will shut. Not only shut, I will slam the door. If your energy is not right, I'm going to slam the door in your face. Now that I'm awakened, I can no longer go around and I want to sleep with everybody. I do not do that. I do not care. Your body looks like Jennifer Lopez. I do not care what is your social status. I do not care. You are the princess of which queen. I do not mind. Your energetics is right. I will get intimate with you. I no longer sleep with pretty much anyone because I understand sex is spiritual. Sex is spiritual. So the woman's body is a portal. You can either walk into the portal of heaven to heaven, or you can walk into the portal to hell. As long as you don't understand these energetics, you go around sharing your body with everyone, there are consequences. Now that I'm awakened, I pray what do they call it? I pray more than I ever prayed before. Because I know who I am. Okay? I no longer I'm no longer defined by what society told me that I am. Okay? I'm no longer the scapegoat. I'm no longer the black sheep of the family. I'm no longer the scapegoat. Yes, I am the black sheep of the family, but I'm no longer the scapegoat. I'm no longer a dumping can for anybody that is looking for where to drop or to dump their trash. I know who I am. So the perception of what other people think I am, I don't have power to control that, but I know who I am. Okay? Now that I'm awakened, I don't know if I've said that, allowing people to run into my home. Not everybody can have access to my house. So I finish the prayer. I pray more often than ever because I understand what's going on. I understand spiritual warfare. I know what has been happening behind the veil. So a lot of you guys who are waking up, you're going to be surprised as to what are those things they never told you in school. You will be surprised what they never told you. And you'll understand that there is things you should have known earlier on. Now that I'm awakened, I no longer talk to myself the way I used to do, even as a joke. I do understand subconscious programming, and I pretty much no longer want to just say anything that I want to say. I'm selective when I'm using my words because there is things that we have been programmed to say or to speak, and these things have been or have become spells. So I no longer do spell work on myself. I'm selective. Even as a joke, I want to make sure that I say the right things, whether to myself or to anyone else. I no longer use some vocabulary I no longer use. Now that I'm awake, I have my own dictionary. Is the reason as why you see a lot of times people say, oh, this one, we don't understand them. This, because you have got your own language. You have got your unique, authentic language that you use. So I no longer follow the dictionary. I have got my own. When I feel like there is something needs to be done, I'll find my way to do it, or I'll find my way how to say it. It's why sometimes people follow my videos and they say they can figure out that I say the things that they were never able to put into words because the only words they knew was those from the dictionary. But I'm able to find a way how to put out the message using the right words. You guys have seen my videos. I rarely cuss, you know. I'll rarely cuss in my videos because I do understand there is people that watch these videos and I know how to use my words. I select my words very carefully. I don't just go around and there, so cussing and cussing, and the video have I don't know how much 100,000 views, and you're cussing in that video. I'm very selective of the words that I use. So I find the most efficient way to pass on the message without by and you're at the same time using the right words. So I'm very selective with what I say, even how I speak to myself. Very, very important because I understand manifestation. Now that I'm awake, there is nobody can put me off my healing path. There is nobody can put me off my healing path. I chose this path, okay? I chose this path, and I chose this path for a reason. So if anybody, I don't care who, father, mother, I do not care what you think you are to me. When you are not going to be helping my evolution or my healing, you've got to go, okay? If I have discarded a narcissistic family dynamic, there is no reason for anyone to think that I could not discard you. I could discard you and I'll be gone, and I'll shut. Not only will I shut the door, I will slam the door. As long as your energy is not right, you try to swing your way in and try to say this and they say that, you're confusing. I'm going to slam the door. There is nobody can interfere with my healing journey. Now that I am awake, I embrace isolation. I know the power in isolation. I know the power with just trying to be you, choosing yourself, being in your little space, doing your own thing. I embrace isolation. Anyway, as an introvert, it's nothing new. But well, back in the days, I was yes, I've been an introvert. But every now and then, there used to be people here and there. But now, awakening makes you even more introverted because you understand energy. Okay. Now that I'm awake, I understand. Now that I'm awake, I understand. I fully understand religion. I grew up a Catholic. Many years ago, I used to be a Catholic. So my family was Catholic. Christians go to church and all those, follow the God's laws and what. So I used to hear things such as, oh, the God is somewhere there in the sky. God is there in the heavens somewhere, and you die, and then your soul goes somewhere in the skies and whatever. And then the good ones will go to heaven, and the bad ones will go to hell. So now I know what is religion. I understand what is religion. Not that I have any problem with religion. I've always told you guys, my channel is not religious. This is not a religious channel. So the ones who want to figure things out, we learn together. But I never want to influence what you believe. So I'm not a part of your faith. You come here, pick up the content you want, see what helps you, you can leave the rest. Now that I'm awake, I understand we're all one. We're all energy. The only difference is good and bad energy, but we're all energy. Okay? We are all consciousness. Those things of life after death and everything, life after death. Most of the things I understand that was taught, they wasn't making sense. So I see people as they're just spirit. The only difference is some spirits are good and some are bad. Some are good and some are evil. So it's just a difference between energy. Energetically, some are full of light, some are full of dark. So it's what it is. So for me, religion, I look the other side, I do my own thing. There are some, what do they call it? They are like verses that I like from the Bible. You know, there are some other things in the Bible. When I'm talking about religion, I'm not saying that everything is crap. So there are some things which make sense. You know, every now and then there are some verses that I want to use. Okay. But now that I'm awake, I am fully understanding that there was so much when it was never told about this whole religion and everything. You know, I see the world for what it is, and I understand the world is upside down. Okay, the world is upside down. The things we were thought was facing north, they're actually facing south, and everything we knew was facing south is actually facing north. The entire thing is inverted. We are living in an inverted reality. Everything that we have been learning is the other way around. Is the opposite. So it's all not adding up. Doesn't make sense. Okay. So as you guys have been following this video, you know that awakening kind of opens you up to a whole new reality, and you start to see and understand things and see things for what they are. So you're no longer in that bubble. Okay. When you're trying to untangle yourself, you start with the truth. But awakening will give you a whole different perspective of everything that you thought you knew. So I don't know what has been your reality. Let us know in the comments. You guys know I do love and appreciate your support. Please book a session. You may donate or support my channel if you want to. Everything you need, you will find it in the description below. And until then, I'll catch you guys in my next one. Denzo Mos signing out. Much love and blessings. Peace.